Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. I wanted to talk a little bit about the new ClearCorrect MA, which they call it MR, Mandibular Repositioning by Smartee. It's a little confusing, and to be honest, I saw my first case and I was not wowed. It doesn't mean it's not going to work. I just think it's more I've heard and I've seen the literature, I've seen the data. It's basically the same thing as the MA appliance, slightly different form, which is why they were able to get it. It's why it's not illegal. They're not stealing anyone's IP because they modified it and it was already FDA approved independently. I guess my understanding. I've made other content on this. You can go into my YouTube channel and find it. But, anyways, so since it's not illegal from what I can tell, and we're not stealing anyone's IP, I feel more comfortable recommending it as an option. So, in any case, this is what it looks like. Looks pretty similar. I would say it's a hybrid between the wings and the blocks, MA and MAOB from Invisalign, from what I can tell. Now, obviously, I've seen and done a ton of MA cases and MAOB cases, so I'm very comfortable with it and the process and the dashboard. But when we first started Invisalign, it was a really janky process too. So, I'm sure this ClearCorrect process will be good. It's just the graphics look terrible, so I don't really know. It didn't look like it was much of a bite jump in the graphics. Usually, MA will take the bite jump at least to edge, and they may do it incrementally, and you can choose. There's different variables, right? Go, if you don't know what this is, and you don't know anything I'm saying, you need to go into my YouTube channel. Don't listen to this anymore. Go to the Invisalign playlist, put in the keyword MA or MAOB, and then you can watch all the content on that. And you can see the evolution of the content I made as it started getting better. I started giving more tricks and tips, and the cases turn out phenomenal now. Like, it's all cool. I'm assuming this works same, right? It's just the graphics looked bad. And then to even see the graphics, you have to do this janky process, which I just cut and pasted what the text told us to do because I was like, what? And it didn't even do the full bite jump. But if you have a great case, the only other criticism I would get is that at least in Invisalign, a lot of times they know that there's shifts. When you have a class 2 bite, there's also often a shift that's in there too, just because of interferences. Invisalign is smart enough that it actually can find that shift and put it into a bite jump. I mean, we don't always know how much is a shift and how much is skeletal and stuff like that, but usually in kids, these are shifts, assuming the upper midline is on. Invisalign actually can do that. Well, the case I was working on, ClearCorrect, no, they didn't understand. They didn't know what we were saying. So I feel like the technicians really are not very educated. I'm just saying. But again, it's not rocket science. All it is aligners with a ski ramp. So it's, I mean, truthfully, as long as you use a deprogramming to finish the case and you're not relying on these suckers to finish the case, yeah, you can't go from this to regular clear aligners. There's an intermediate step that I have identified. There's a couple different ways I do it, and tons of other doctors are doing it too. I think I'm just the first person to think outside the box and put my content on YouTube. And now everyone's doing what I said. So whether it's just orthodontists using their brains and using braces technology to come up with workarounds for clear aligners, which is what we've been doing for 20 years, I'm sure plenty of other orthodontists thought of the same thing. I was just the first person to mention it online. But anyways, I'm excited. The doctor I'm working with who did this case, I don't think this doctor's actually going to proceed with the MA. I think this doctor has been very comfortable with twin blocks, very comfortable with other options, and isn't sure if this doctor's ready to take that big step to try the ClearCorrect ones, especially with the platform looking a little janky. By the way, if you're Straumann, ClearCorrect, dude, you should not have released this yet. It was not ready. But whatever. The integration, but I heard the Smartee platform, it looks better on that. I think the issue is that it sounds like whoever's made this Clear Pilot hasn't been able to get the pop-up or the integration of the Smartee into the ClearCorrect Clear Pilot. That's the only issue. Anyways, it's just graphics. All right. So I think it's all good. Check it out.